Well, this is another find from up in our old bedroom that we call the storeroom. It is some kind of an end table, and it is filthy. And it looks like there's not a lot of finish left on it. But I think we can probably do something about that. So the first thing I got to do is just clean this thing up, because it's a mess. 100 years of dirt. Heaven knows what else I'm going to find up in that storeroom when I start digging. So what I'll do is wipe it dry, and when it fully gets dry, I'll have a go at, I guess I'm going to have to take that finish off the top. I can't do much about that. I don't think Howard's Feed and Wax is going to do much about that, because there's nothing left. Okay, the top is dry, and I'm going to have a go at scraping that finish off. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Oh yeah. Coming off real nice. Yeah, I think this is going to work out okay. Come back when I'm a little bit farther along. Well, mostly it's scraped off pretty good. The table's so light I have to kind of balance. That's not bad, just got a little bit in the corner. Then I'll be able to sand that. The rest of it, it's really not too bad. I mean, down here, that looks pretty good. I don't think I'm going to mess with it. It's just the top that needed some work. Yeah. Although I do notice, I don't know whether the camera can see it, this leg right here, it is bent in. Okay, let's swing right around here. That is decidedly bent in. I don't know how that happened. I'm not even sure how to even fix that. Now that I've got the top stripped, I'm going to take a quarter sheet of sandpaper. This time I'm using Norton. It's P100. It's their premium blue sandpaper, and a Harbor Freight, what is it, 6.5 inch hand sanding pad. This is the way you install it. So as you can see, I'm not using expensive round sanding discs. I'm just using plain old sandpaper. So let's give this a sand, see what happens. I just figured it was too small to get out the big sander. I got some dark spots there. I don't know what whether that's going to sand out or I'm going to have to get some oxalic acid, because I don't have any, but I can certainly get some. And I don't think that's coming out. So I'll have to get some oxalic acid and see if I can get that stain out of there. Well, I got reminded that I did have some oxalic acid, so I mixed up a little bit and put it on. Apparently I haven't used oxalic acid in so long I forgot I had it. I know it's been quite a few years. I don't do that much furniture refinishing. So I'm hoping I'm doing this right. Looks very red. Very red. So I'm just kind of curious whether I should put it that red color and take the rest of that dark finish off, or put it back the way it was. Be an interesting question. Well, that acid did a pretty good job. There's hardly any sign that that was there. So with that, I've got 220 sandpaper on my little sanding block. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so now I just got to decide, am I going to remove the finish on the rest of it so that it'll come out red, or do I want to make it dark like the bottom and put it back the way it was, or two-tone it? To be determined. Now I'm going to go over the top with some odorless mineral spirits, and that's going to show me, well, it's going to clean it up, but it's also going to show me exactly what it would look like if I just put a natural stain on. I don't know my wood, so I have no idea what kind of wood this is. Very red. I guess I don't know my woods because I never set out to be a woodworker. Just cleaning up stuff for the farmhouse. So that's what it would look like. That does look good. I don't know. I guess I'll have to find out what she thinks, and she can tell me what I like. Now, after talking with some people, they're thinking that this top may be possibly mahogany, but I don't think so, because the amount of sawdust that I got off the thing when I was sanding it, it seems to be a softwood. So one of the guys said it could be something like red cedar. But in any event, chances are all the various pieces that put this table together are parts as parts, and if I strip it down, I'm going to have multiple different woods. So I'm just going to restain the top and then just go over the rest of it in the same color. So what I decided to do was use Old Masters Wiping Stain in Espresso, trying to get it that dark. So we're just going to have to see what happens. This is an experiment. initially it looks a little darker than the original finish. That's what it looks like. And it's definitely sucking this in. The way it's sucking it in, it definitely is a soft wood, I think. But then again, just remember, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to finish putting this on and we'll get back and see how it's going to turn out. Okay, that's been on there a while. I'm going to see what I got. That doesn't look bad. That really doesn't look bad at all. Nope. It also was suggested that once it's dry, I was thinking about putting a coat of poly on the top to protect it, but the guys at the paint store said probably I should just put a coat of shellac on it. Call it good. I'd say that turned out pretty darn good. So there's the end table after it's been completely coated with that espresso. I think it's a little darker than it initially was, but then again that finish is 100 years old, so it could very well have faded. So I have to leave that for the rest of the day. They said 10 hours, and then I will consider putting some kind of a coating on it. Probably I'm going to go with what the guys said and just put shellac, but it looks a whole lot better than it did. Well, the stain has dried, so now I've got some bullseye clear shellac that I'm going to use. Put one coat on, and we'll go from there. That is making the grain pop. I don't know whether you can see it on camera, but it definitely is from my perspective. So I'll just go ahead and do the rest of the body, and we'll see how that comes out. Well, that coat of shellac is dry, and you can hear it's a little rough. So I've got some 2000 wet dry sandpaper, and I'm going to go over it just lightly, see if that improves things. Okay. Oh yeah, quite a bit different. I think you could stand just a little bit more down on that end. And a little bit right there. But I'm thinking probably the rest of it, yeah, the rest of it's okay. It just needs probably another coat on top, because that one was completely stripped. The rest of it wasn't. I'll probably put another coat on, just to give it a bit more protection. Let's try that. Yeah, that's not bad. So I'm going to let that dry and put one more coat of shellac on, and then maybe rub that out again, and it'll be ready to go back into service. Well, it's dry and it's pretty smooth, but took this out of the refrigerator. It's a trick for preserving your brushes. So I'm going to give it another coat just because it's going to get used, and a little bit of extra protection on top doesn't hurt. The rest of it, I think that one coat will be fine. But I know where this one is going to be used. Right at the end of the island. To collect stuff that you bring in, set down, or you don't want to forget on the way out of the house. At least that's the way I'm going to use it. There we go. So just in case, it'll go back into the refrigerator in case I do need to use it. But I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, the second coat of shellac is on, and I'm going to hit it one more time with some 2000 wet dry and see if that'll be good enough for a top. Not bad. Oh, one thing we did determine, that this top is a thin plywood veneer. Don't know what kind of plywood, but it is very, very red. And all the more reason to not strip the whole thing down, because God knows what it would be. Well, it's really not too bad. And there's a gouge there and there. And there's another one there. It's a soft top, but I think probably, depending on how this comes out, well, that's not bad. For what it is, that's not bad at all. So I think we're going to go with that. And again, no matter how bad a job I did on it, it's better than when I started.